Sarah Louise Robertson is a distinguished royal correspondent, and tonight's show would not be complete without welcoming her back onto the mother of all talk shows. Sarah, thanks for joining us. You'll have been busy this week and going to be busy again next week. It's an ill wind that blows nobody any good. You must be getting plenty of screen time, including this.
I am indeed, George. Thank you so much. But I always make time for you.
You do, and I'm very grateful to you for that. They say that nobody organises ceremonial like the British. How have we done so far?
I think we've done absolutely marvellously. When you look at, obviously, that proclamation that we saw yesterday, I was blown away by that. We've obviously never witnessed that before in history. It's always been done behind closed doors. So for them to decide to let us view that and actually see what goes on behind the scenes, it was incredible. All those prime ministers, you know, all of that power in one room, and then obviously watching King Charles having to go through the motions, the language, the pomp, the ceremony, you know, having those soldiers out, all of it. I just lapped it all up, just absolutely loved it and could watch it again and again and again. I thought it was fascinating, and what an incredible experience for us to be able to witness history being made. It blows my mind.
And of course it was unique, not just because it was televised for the first time, but because the fragrant Penny Mordaunt got to declare Charles king as Lord President of the Council. She did it rather well, I thought.
I thought she did as well, George. And what was interesting is, you know, she was given that job. She lost out being Prime Minister, didn't she, with the leadership race. Obviously, she lost out to Liz Truss. And Liz Truss must have thought, oh, let's just give her that job. You know, what's that? And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Penny is thrust into the spotlight with the world's eyes on her at that point, with people saying, who's this lady? You know, so it's actually put her in the spotlight above Liz Truss, I thought. And I thought, that's going to be interesting how things progress between those two women, you know, in the positions that they both have, because suddenly Penny's position has become very important, hasn't it? So I'd be interested to see how that power play
as I said, Sarah,
runs out.
As I said, Sarah, it's an ill wind that blows nobody any good, and it blew some good for Penny Mordaunt, and Liz Truss must have been congratulating her through gritted teeth, because she's head and shoulders above Liz Truss in terms of demeanour, in terms of fluency and charisma, and all the things that you might have thought the Conservatives would have been grateful for. But they chose Liz Truss instead. But let's not put you on the spot on that. What happens next? And for many of our viewers, Sarah, sorry to tell you this, when will this all be over?
Oh, I'm sorry, George. They're going to have to suffer it a little bit longer, I'm afraid. Suck it up. I'm loving it. Obviously, your viewers aren't. They hold very different opinions. I'm a staunch royalist, a staunch monarchist, and also love my history, British history especially. So this is incredible to be at the centre of all of this happening around us. But yes, it is going to go on until the day of the funeral. So next Monday, 19th of September, that's obviously when Queen Elizabeth II will be laid to rest. And after then, you know, things will sort of quiet down and there'll be less of this. And then other news will come back in onto the agenda again. But I'm afraid, you know, this is the biggest moment in history. We've lost our head of state, the Queen, who served us for 70 years. I think she's given us 70 years of service. Therefore, I think we can give her a few more days of mourning. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, although many people are more concerned about how they're themselves and their own families going to stay alive through this winter that is ahead of us. I thought you were about to say this will go on until the day of judgment, but you said until the day of the funeral. which is a week on Monday, for
Yes.
which I thank the Lord. And you, Sarah Louise Robertson,